Okay, so let's be honest. I'm hanging on to the coattails of this whole Marvellous scene thing, but I do have something to say about one scene that never fails to make me cry, for reasons I'll get into in this video. That scene is the letter opening scene from Guardians 1, with this infamous line.
My little Starlord.
To understand why this scene is important, we first need to understand the character of Peter Quill and the themes of the movie. Full Fat Videos did an awesome video on this, but they didn't include this scene, so at least I'm not plagiarising too hard. So without further ado, let me explain why this is my absolute favourite scene of all time, at least in the MCU. I think, if I was brutally honest, that it's the way Peter uses comedy and pop culture to deal with emotional trauma. While comedy is a healthy way to deal with pain, it can easily lead to an escape route to actually confronting such pain. The opening scene where Quill is dancing to his Walkman shows us just how immature he is, or rather, how immature he pretends to be. I'm sure being abducted by space pirates as soon as your closest relative passes away in front of your eyes is a good way to harden those pesky emotions. Quill has two identities: Peter Quill, the lovable, immature rogue who is burdened with nostalgia, and Starlord, the man Quill wants to be. Full Fat Videos made the brilliant observation that Starlord is an amalgamation of Han Solo and Boba Fett, two characters Peter idolizes. The lovable rogue meets the silent badass. But beneath the facade and performance, Peter is still an emotionally vulnerable character. His interactions with the other Guardians highlight this. While he is able to be a strong leader, it's only after he spent enough time with the crew that he can open up to Gamora, and even then it still takes him until Volume 2 and Infinity War to create what we would call a normal relationship. Minus the Space Wars pirating and death. This is why the inclusion of music in 80s pop culture becomes more than a gag or nostalgia. It becomes an important character element to Peter. He is emotionally and mentally stuck in his childhood, and I think this is something we can all relate to. We all yearn for a time where everything was so much simpler, when we were happier. As a personal coping mechanism for my problems, I find music to be the most helpful. That's why when I first saw Peter care so much about his Walkman, I felt a bridge being drawn between us. Here was a character, a man only a decade older than I am now, using music as a coping mechanism to escape his reality. But the Walkman also symbolises something deeper. In the same way that the only connection to 1940 that Captain America has post-Civil War is Bucky, the only connection Peter has to his mother is the music she gave him. I've grown up in a household where music was a near constant. Every Saturday morning when chores were being done, my mum used to put on her favourite albums. For me, this explains why Quill reading the letter is so impactful on a personal level. The connection between mother and music is something we both have in common. Peter losing his mother hollows out the music. It's no longer something he can share with another person. It's something uniquely special to him, precisely because he is the only one in the universe that can appreciate it. The music represents an idealised version of Peter's mother, not the person he remembers. The mother riddled with cancer is too painful for Quill to deal with, so he escapes to his younger youth, a time where his mother created mixtapes for him and they'd share something special between only those two. Gamora, unlocking his inner emotions, explains why, when he holds the Power Stone, he suddenly sees Gamora as his mother. She gives Peter the strength he needs to confront what happened the night he was taken away. For years, Peter has regretted not holding his mother's hand one last time, so when Gamora offers to share in his pain, why wouldn't he take it? Side note, as someone who has dealt with a family member dying from terminal cancer, it always resonates with me when I remember Peter is dealing with the same emotional pain I'm most likely still dealing with 2 years on. It's not something that is easily gotten over, as I'm sure all of you know. The two most important people in my life are my mum and my nan. With half of those being gone, I always feel the gut punch when Peter opens the letter and decides to confront his past. I never fail to cry when it's revealed that the whole reason Peter calls himself Starlord is because it's a nickname his mother gave him. It recontextualises Peter's whole character. We realise just how important his mother was to him. She wasn't just a mother, she was a best friend, a mentor, someone angelic as Peter calls her. This is also why I relate with Tony when it's revealed that Bucky killed his parents. The line,
"I don't care. He killed my mom,"
gives us a direct insight into Tony's feeling towards his parents. While Civil War showed us the strained relationship between Tony and his dad, there was always an inclination that there was some level of love between them. That's why for me, Tony and Peter are similar in many ways. Both love their mothers so much that their deaths are at the heart of all their character growth. My girlfriend often says that I'm a mother's boy. As much as I try to joke and laugh this off, I'm under no illusion that I most definitely am a mother's boy. Without my mum's help and guidance, I wouldn't be half the man I am today. This is the main reason why I find this scene emotional. I can talk all day about technical details, character arcs, identity, narrative structure and so on, but I can never escape that the main reason this brings a tear to my eye is because it's about a boy's unending love for his mother.